Hi everyone, welcome back to Things Lucy Reads. I'm Luce and this is another wrap-up video. So this video is manga. It's books 45 and 46, 48 and 54 that I've read this year. And I'm going to start with number 48 because it's the easiest. And it is The Art of Miyazaki's Spirited Away. There's not a lot of writing in it. It's mostly pictures. It's like storyboards of the film and kind of explaining the color schemes and the choices they made in terms of character design and like the design of Yubaba's room and stuff like that, and just kind of, you know, all kind of explaining all of the concepts behind the movie in general. And I really enjoyed it. The back also has the translated English script of the film, which is pretty much just like reading the film. There's nothing in it that isn't in the film. And it also explains the techniques that they use to create like the steam and how they made No Face disappear and like the texture of the water and stuff like that. Explains how they did it and how they mixed traditional art techniques with digital art techniques to create a film that is just, you know, really beautiful without being too limited by one or the other of the art forms. So it was just really informative despite there not being much writing, and really enjoyable, and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. The next 2 books I'm going to talk about are volumes 4 and 5 of Puella Magi Kazumi Magica, The Innocent Malice. This series in general is really good. Of all of the spin-offs that I've read, I've only read 3, but of the 3 spin-offs that I've read, this one is the closest in like plot and tone to the anime. Even though the other 2 spin-offs that I've read are like direct spin-offs, they involve characters from the anime, this one is the most similar. It's about this girl called Kazumi who wakes up with no memory, and she finds out that she and her friends are magical girls and they have to fight witches, and then as the storyline goes on, she finds out why her friends are fighting as a group and why they do what they do with the remains of the witches, and just kind of their philosophy as magical girls, and how they feel about Kyubei's system of creating magical girls and stuff like that. Things come to a head in these 2 volumes because it's the last 2 volumes. I gave volume 4 4 stars and volume 5 5 stars. It was really interesting when everything was explained and you were kind of pushed back out into the light after being in the dark for all of volume 3. There was plenty of action. The fighting scenes in these manga are kind of hard to follow. It's easier to watch them in the anime because it's in color and you can kind of see what is the witch and what is the background and what character is doing what move and what direction it's coming from and stuff like that. I have a bit of trouble deciphering all of that information when it's in black and white on a page, but I manage. It was really interesting in the kind of questions that it raised, such as if a magical girl is created and she's not made a magical girl by Kyubei, she just is a magical girl, is she still going to turn into a witch? You know, is it possible to turn the witches back into girls after you've defeated them? Is there a way to just kind of rot the whole system that Kyubei has created, or are they just stuck in it forever? And it's really interesting. I think, even though I haven't read all of the spin-offs, I think this one is probably going to remain my favorite, just because it is so similar to the anime, and everything that I loved about the anime is also in this. Yeah, just made me question everything that I thought I knew about the world that the anime takes place in, and kind of the nature of being a magical girl and the nature of the system. And yeah, so I really enjoyed it, and I would definitely recommend it if you are into Madoka at all. And then the last book that I'm going to talk about in this wrap up is number 54, and it is Tokyo Ghoul Volume 5. I gave this one 4 stars after giving the last 3 volumes 5 each. I don't know if it's because I read those back to back and then I read this one weeks later, or whether it was because this one was just less interesting. I don't know. This was pretty good. It was less action-packed, just a little bit quieter, introduced some new information and some new ideas about ghouls coexisting with humans, and it had the backstories of a couple of characters, which was really interesting. And yeah, I did enjoy this volume. I just didn't enjoy it quite as much as I enjoyed the previous three, but I'm definitely going to read on because I really like this world and I really like kind of the concept of ghouls and everything like that. So yeah, so those are all the books I'm going to talk about in this video. As always, if you've read any of them, let me know what you thought, etc, etc, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.